Hello, my YouTubers. Welcome back to the channel, Mix Match Stereo. I'm your host, Sarge, USMC. This is a follow-up on the Modwright Instruments analog bridge. How this first started, I met Dan Wright a few years back, 10 years or 10 years plus, and I bought his power amp, the KWA 150 SE. Nice sounding, beautiful amp. I love the way his products sound, the way they look, and for me, a product has to do more than sound good. My opinion, I have to love the way it looks as well. The product sounds awesome, awesome, and it looked like crap. I probably would not pay for it. So I like to have the looks and the sound quality as well. And Dan Wright does that. The components are beautiful. And it sound awesome. Like I said, I had the KWA 150 SE. Right now it's out of rotation. It'll be back in rotation soon. I have so many power amps and integrated amps that I always mix and matching. I'll pull an amp out or integrated amp out, and I'll put another one in its place. They all sound good, and I like different sounds. It's my way of having an audio show, like Estonia or the Hi-Fi show in DC, Capital Audio Fest, the now defunct show in Denver, the Mile High show, Rocky Mountain Audio Fest. That was a great show. They canceled that show, I think, around about the COVID time. But I have a lot of power amps and CD players and everything else. But back to Modwright. I have also a Modwright. Let me try to move this. Right now, right in front of the camera is the bridge. This is the Modwright modifications or Modwright instruments analog bridge. It's right there. All right. It's a thing of beauty, and it sounds awesome, and I'll tell you how I first use it and how I end up using it. First of all, it has two inputs. I have the RCA version, which is $1,000 cheaper than the XLR balanced version. The only difference is you have the XLR or the RCA. I went with the RCA to save money. I didn't really want to spend $4,000 for the XLR balanced version, $3,000 for the RCA version, the version that I have. So this is the analog bridge, and I contacted Dan because, as you can see, I have a Oppo CD player, DVD player, and you see the two tubes on top of that. That was modified by Dan Wright, and it also comes with a outboard power supply. So that's the outboard power supply, and it's tube rectified with a 5AR4 rectified tube. But I've been playing around with the rectified tubes. I put in 274Bs most of the time. Right now I got in a 5AR4 because I lost that headroom space for the big tube, because it's sitting on top of now a Bryson Audio BDA1 DAC. But that's the Modwright modified Oppo 205. It comes with a solid state input stage, and what Dan does to it, he adds the tubes in the two-channel output stage instead of solid state, which will give this a tube sound, which should knock some of the glare and edge off of the solid state version of that. So that's the Oppo that Dan Wright modified for me. The Oppo, some call it Oppo, whatever you want to call it, Oppo. This was the last DVD CD player that they made, the 205, and they stopped making them. So right now this is a hot item, and mine is especially hot because it's been modified with the two tubes, 6.922 tubes, I believe. You can mix and match and roll tubes, but I love the 6.922 tubes. And once again, that is the outboard power supply that comes with that. And now Dan Wright modified it to get its own outboard power supply. So that's awesome. So I contacted Dan because I read, sorry for the bad video. I contacted Dan because I read that he was doing modifications on the Cambridge Audio CX DAC, the streamer DAC, which I have also right here. Alright, that's the, let me back this up and get a little closer. Alright, this is the, this is my streamer. I keep forgetting the model name of it. It's the Cambridge Audio CXN version 2. And Dan was at one time modifying this screamer. So I contacted Dan about modifying my Cambridge screamer. And he said he no longer does it because of the parts through Cambridge Audio. It's hard to come by. And I asked him years ago about modifying my Sony SACD SCD777ES. I had this player for over 20 years. Now the SACD port no longer works, but it's a 50-pound monster. It's very hard to come by now in a high quality 50-pound CD player that was affordable. You pay that kind of dollar per pound now, like for esoteric, you're going to spend in the thousands, 15,000 plus for a CD player of this quality. This CD player came on the market 20 years ago at $3,500. All right, trying to stay on track here with the analog bridge. So I contacted Dan Wright, which I had done in the past, for his I also had his phono preamp, the PH 9.0. This is a the solid state, well, it's not solid state. It's a preamp, moving magnet, moving coil, and it's tube based. It had two tubes inside this preamp, phono stage rather. I forget the name of the tubes, the real small miniature tubes. And this is also has an outboard power supply, which is right there under the Macintosh sign. So this is the outboard power supply for the Modwright PH 9.0 phono stage. I love this piece as well. As you can see over here, right now the KWA is out of circulation, but it will be back in circulation very soon. Alright, so that's a Modwright product. This is a Modwright product with the outboard power supply. Alright, this is my Oppo or Oppo. It's kind of weird. I got this thing on the there are the tubes. It's been tube installed instead of the solid state stage that was done by Dan Wright at Modwright Instruments. So So that's a Modwright modification with the oppo. So it has now a tube output stage. As you can tell, I love tubes. And this is the power supply that comes along with the oppo back in the day when you could get it modified and this tube rectified. All right, that's a close-up look at the bridge. And the bridge has, like I said, 2 inputs. You got an L1, L2. I'm using the L2 because if you use line 2, you can turn this up. I'm getting ahead of the gun. Let's step back a minute. This video is killing me. So I'm going to try to get this back full range. All right. I had my first setup with the analog bridge. I had between the Sony SCD 777 ES. I had the bridge between the Sony and the PS Audio Digital Link 3 DAC. It upsamples to 96,000 hertz and 192,000 hertz. And I really like the sound of the bridge between the Sony 777 ES and the PS Audio DL3, and it really impressed me. But also, I had 3 CD players in this system: the Sony, the oppo, and the Macintosh MCD 550. But I was only getting the benefit of the bridge when I played the Sony. So when I played the Macintosh CD player, the 550, or when I played the oppo 205, or my Screamer, the CX, I keep forgetting that model number, CXV2, CXNV2 Screamer, or if I played my iMac, which is also tied to the system, I wouldn't get the benefit of the bridge. So the only way to get the benefit of the analog bridge, which really impressed me on the Sony and the PS Audio DAC, and in order to get that overall sound over the whole system, I had to put the DAC between the preamp and the power amp. And I didn't want to do that. I never like put anything between the preamp and the power amp. I thought that was, less is more in a lot of circumstances. I try to keep my preamp and power amp tied together themselves, nothing in between. But I wanted to get the benefits of this bridge over the whole system, not just the Sony and the PS Audio DAC. So I did what I didn't want to do. I said, I'm just going to try the bridge between my preamp and power amp just for fun. And lo and behold, it really blew me away. So now I have the analog bridge from Modwright Modifications, or Modwright Instruments rather, between my preamp, which is the Macintosh C2300, which is also a tube bass, and my right now in between the Macintosh and the Past Lab XA 30.A, which is a pure Class A power amp. And I didn't want to do it, but I did it, and I'm glad I did it. I'm not saying that the sound is better. I will say the sound is different. It's a different, pleasing, pleasant sound. And I really enjoy what I'm hearing with this bridge in between my preamp and power amp. Not saying that it was a better sound, that it improved the sound. It's a different sound. It's a tube sound. It's not overly romantic. It's not overly like sweet or syrupy. It's refreshing. It was a refreshing sound and a pleasant sound. It's like my system swallowed a breath mint. I mean, I'm not a reviewer. I don't talk that lingo or try to impress somebody with my knowledge, because my knowledge is not all that, but I know what I like and what I don't like. I've been building systems, playing around with systems my whole life, practically, and I love what I'm hearing with this Modwright Instruments analog bridge between my preamp and my power amp, so that everything that I play through my system, the iMac, the VPI turntable, the Classic 3, the Cambridge Audio Screamer, the Oppo, the Sony 777 ES, the Macintosh 550 CD player, everything that I play now, every source component that I have will now go through this analog bridge. And I tell you, I didn't want to do it that way, but I tried it. I love it. It would not be coming out. So, Dan Wright, I have your power amp, I have your phono stage, I had the modified Oppo. I think out of all of them, I might appreciate this bridge the best. And I'm glad I contacted you. I'm glad you hooked me up and turned me on to it. So I would give this analog bridge all kind of kudos. And it has it's 2 rectified with the, once again, 5AR4 rectifier tube that's dead center. I'll be changing that out soon. I bought hold on a second. I bought this tube 2 weeks ago. It's a company, Japan. It's called Lanley, or Lanley, if I'm pronouncing it right. They came from PS Vane, and PS Vane came out of Shoe Gang. So Shoe Gang split up 2 factory in, I think it's China or Japan, one of the countries. It was Shoe Gang at first, and PS Vane broke off from Shoe Gang, from what I read, and Lanley, they came from PS Vane. So this tube here, I like big tubes. So this tube here will be going in the analog bridge. It's a Lanley 274B. Hope I'm saying that right. Lanley, Linlai. I'm not sure, but it's a 274B. It's interchangeable with the 5AR4, but it's a lot bigger, and hopefully it sounds. I love their tubes. I had their tubes also in my Wilsonton's integrated amps. So I love their tubes. So this will replace the 5AR4 and the analog bridge. Now also the bridge has 2 sets of tube outputs. You can run this on the 6922 tubes, which are the smaller tubes left and right, or the bigger tubes in the back, which is the 6S and 7s. Now I only been using the ones in the back, the 6S and 7s. It sounds so good and it's so impressive. I had not yet tried the smaller tubes, the output tubes, the 6922s, but I will be. And it's an awesome piece. I got it in the L2 inputs. That way I can turn off the bridge and just has the preamp and the power amp working together, bypassing the bridge if you turn it off on the L2 inputs. But I tried it once just to try it. I didn't leave it off very long because I like what I'm hearing with the bridge. And it's a bridge. It's a bridge. It's a bridge between my preamp and my power amp, and it's all tubes and two two sets of tube outputs. I said the 6 922s and the 6S7 tubes. I will be trying the 6 922s soon, but I just been playing the 6S7 because it's been so impressive. I might have had this bridge now 3 weeks, and it's going to stay right where it's at, right between my preamp and my power amp, so that my whole system can benefit from this. And I had from the iMac. The iMac runs right into the. This is a tube DAC, a Prima Luna Evo 300, and this is an awesome DAC. And it's also tube base, all tubes, and it's tube rectified. It came with 2 rectifier tubes, the 5 AR4, but I since replaced them with also with PS thing rectifier tubes. I like the big tubes. All right, so if anyone is interested in a sweet sounding tube component to sweeten up your solid state system or tube system. And I'll tell you, I was hesitant about putting the bridge between the preamp and the power amp because I already have this great big old thing here, that tube DAC. So I was hesitant about putting that in there because of that. And also I had the Macintosh preamp. That's tube based. But I did messing around. This is mix match stereo, so I mix match my components, and I'm very glad that I did this. I'm very glad. I'm very pleased to have this analog bridge between my preamp and power amp. And it's I love it. I love the combination. Like I said, I didn't want to put any component between my preamp and power amp. Less is more, but this thing is beautiful. It's doing a beautiful job. So Dan Wright, kudos, brother. You did it again. I'll see you soon at the next audio show. All right, till then, this is Sarge, USMC, name of the channel, Mix Match Stereo. Check it out. Please subscribe. More to come. Thank you. December 5.